Let's talk about something that is, at its core, everything to a business. Its relationship with its customers. Seriously, it's the engine for growth, the bedrock of loyalty, and honestly, it's what separates the companies that thrive from the ones that, well, don't. So we're going to break down the entire life cycle of that relationship, from a complete stranger to a loyal partner.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You have an experience with a company that's so awesome, you just have to tell people about it. But then, there are those other times, the ones where you feel totally invisible, and you're left wondering, how on earth are these guys still in business? So what's the secret? What's the big difference? Turns out, it often boils down to one fundamental way of thinking.
And here are the two core mindsets. You've got companies that operate from the inside out. Basically, they're in a bubble. They think they know what's best, they build it, and then they try to push it on you. But the great companies, they think outside in. They start with you, the customer, your needs, your frustrations, your actual goals, and they build their entire experience around that reality. It sounds like a simple switch, but trust me, it changes absolutely everything.
Okay, so how do you even begin to think from the outside in? It all starts with one single, incredibly powerful action. You have to truly listen. And I don't just mean listening to what customers say. I mean listening to their entire experience. This is where a lot of companies get it wrong. They get obsessed with measuring these tiny little moments. They call them touch points, like a single phone call or one visit to their website. But that's not how we experience things, is it? We experience a whole journey. Take this home renovation example. It's the entire process from the first spark of an idea to the final nail that really defines the experience.
And that holistic view is what we call the customer journey. It's all about mapping out every single interaction someone has with your company, from the very beginning to the very end. That's how you understand what it actually feels like to be their customer, not just the little pieces you decide to measure.
And companies have some pretty clever ways of listening in on this journey. They use mystery shopping to literally see their own service through a customer's eyes. They do lost customer research, which is kind of like an autopsy on a failed relationship to figure out exactly what went wrong. And of course, they're all over social media, which has become the world's biggest real-time focus group.
Right, so you're listening. That's step one, and it's huge. But now what? What do you do with all that information? Well, the whole point is to use what you've learned to actively build that relationship, to help the customer climb what's often called the relationship ladder. This is the whole path. It all begins with acquiring a stranger, getting them to make that first purchase. If you do a good job and satisfy them, they become an acquaintance. Then, through one positive experience after another, you can keep them around as a friend, someone who trusts you and picks you over the other guys. The ultimate goal, the top of the ladder, is to enhance that relationship so much they become a true partner, someone who's as invested in your success as you are in theirs.
But let's be real for a second. There's a tough business reality here. Companies just can't afford to build that super deep partner relationship with every single person. They have to prioritize. And that's where this idea, the customer pyramid, comes into play. It's basically a strategy for sorting customers based on how profitable they are, from the most valuable platinum folks at the very top down to the lead tier at the bottom.
Now, this might sound a little harsh, but it is a critical part of the strategy. Those customers at the very bottom of the pyramid, sometimes they can cost a company more in time and resources than they'll ever bring in as profit. So by focusing the real relationship building energy on the top tiers, and sometimes even firing the customers that are a terrible fit, a company can actually free up resources to improve service for everybody else.
Okay, but we all know that no relationship is perfect. Even with your best customers, mistakes are going to happen. A flight gets canceled, an order shows up wrong, a product breaks. The true test of a great company isn't that they never fail, it's how they react when they do.
This complaint iceberg shows exactly why that response is so important. See, the complaints that actually make it to a manager, that's just the tiny tip. A whole bunch of people might complain to a frontline employee, but even worse, about half of unhappy customers never say a word. They just disappear. They leave and they never come back. This means that every single complaint you do hear is an absolute gift. It's a chance to fix a problem you probably didn't even know you had.
And check this out. What happens when you handle that gift the right way? This data is just wild. Customers who complained and got their issue resolved were actually more likely to buy again than customers who never had a problem in the first place. I mean, think about that. Fixing a problem well can make a customer more loyal than they were before.
This incredible phenomenon actually has a name, the service recovery paradox. It's this idea that a service failure
if you follow it up with a really excellent recovery, can create a customer who is more loyal and happier than if the mistake never even happened. It totally reframes failure, right? It's not just a crisis to manage, it's a golden opportunity to build an even stronger bond.
And if you want to know the cost of getting it wrong, just ask United Airlines. When a musician's guitar was smashed by baggage handlers and the airline basically shrugged, he wrote a song about it, United Breaks Guitars. The video went viral. That single instance of terrible service recovery is estimated to have vaporized about $180 million in shareholder value. It is the ultimate cautionary tale for our hyperconnected world.
So when you pull all these pieces together, listening, building, recovering, you start to see that it isn't just a straight line. It's not a checklist you work through once. It's a powerful, continuous cycle that the best companies are living and breathing every single day.
And that right there is the big takeaway. It's a constant loop. You listen to the customer's real journey. You use what you learn to build a stronger, more meaningful relationship. And when things go wrong, and they will, you recover with excellence. And that brilliant recovery, it not only makes a customer more loyal, it gives you yet another chance to listen, to learn, and to make the whole cycle even better.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question. Think about the companies you're really loyal to, the ones you'd go out of your way to recommend. I'm willing to bet they aren't just companies you've never had a problem with. Chances are they're the ones who've mastered this cycle. They've listened, they've built a real connection, and maybe, just maybe, they took a moment of failure and turned it into the very moment that earned your trust for good.